Do you believe in magic? What would you do if I told you there's scientific proof that magic is real? Hey beautiful soul, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Alice, aka Breathing Magic. Welcome to the channel of self-development, spirituality, and magical endeavors. Today's video is a book review about the book Real Magic by Dean Radin. I'm going to give you some info about the author and a short summary of what this book is about. Then I'll share my biggest takeaways and insights I gained. So who is Dean Radin? Dean Radin is an expert on psi, aka psychic phenomena. He is the chief scientist at the Institute of Noetic Sciences and the author of the best-selling book The Conscious Universe. And he worked on Stargate, which is like one of the US government's top secret programs. He spent over 40 years conducting controlled experiments that demonstrate things like thoughts become things, we can sense other people's emotions even from a distance, the power of intuition and intention, etc. What makes this book unique is the way it looks at topics related to psychic phenomena and magic. See, most books on beliefs about magic tend to talk about it from psychological or historical perspectives, but this book explores real magic from a scientist's point of view. In other words, it's an evidence-based, scientific perspective. This book attempts to open up discussions and provide answers to the following questions. Is magic really some outdated superstition, uncivilized belief, or mere fantasy? Or is there some truth behind it waiting to be uncovered? Can we use repeatable experiments and measurable data to prove the existence of magic? And if magic is real, what does that mean for us and the future of this world? The book begins with a brief history of magic through the ages to provide some historic context. Then it dives into the scientific evidence for magic, for example, peer-reviewed journals, other scientists' work, and multiple experiments that examine different aspects of magic. After that, it shares some simple but effective magical practices. Like all scientists, Dean Radin likes to put things into different categories, and he divided real magic into 3 different categories: force of will, divination, and theurgy. Force of will is about mentally influencing the physical world. It's related to spell casting and other activities that are meant to intentionally influence things, people, and events. In the science world, people study the interactions between mind and matter and call it psychokinesis. Divination is the perception of events distant in time or space. It's associated with practices such as tarot reading. Scientists study these practices as variations of clairvoyance and precognition. Theurgy is about interactions with non-physical beings, and it involves methods for communicating with spirits. Scientists usually study it in the form of mediumship studies. I really appreciate the way Dean Radin helped us understand the relationship between science and magic from a bird's eye view. In ancient times, everything was considered supernatural. Back then, humankind didn't know much about how the world works, so they naturally attributed everything to unseen forces or beings. But as time went by, they started to notice patterns in nature, such as the cycles of the seasons, and things became more predictable. This eventually evolved into the human-centric natural magic, which is all about the visible and present. Over time, supernatural magic was adopted by religion, and natural magic split into 2. The exoteric, which is about the outer physical world, and the esoteric, which is about the inner mental world. Eventually, the exoteric evolved into modern-day science, and the magic we're talking about today lies within the esoteric. This book shows you that magical practices are already very present in your everyday life. Prayer is a form of intentional magic. It's a mental act intended to affect the world in some way. Wearing a sacred symbol or a lucky charm bracelet is a form of sympathetic magic. And many cultures and religions have rituals that are ceremonial magic. And when you really look into the books and content out there on the power of affirmations and positive thinking, you'll start to notice that most, if not all of them, follow magical principles. Real magic doesn't just talk about what you do or perform on the outside. It lets you know that magic is inner work. Dean Radin says that the essence of magic boils down to the application of two mental skills, attention and intention. And the strength of the magical outcomes is influenced by four factors: belief, imagination, emotion, and clarity. The candles, capes, symbols, and rituals are all cool, but they're simply things that help you withdraw your mind from distractions, focus on what's at hand, and get to that right state of mind. By the way, if you've been getting value out of this video so far, let me know by giving me a like and subscribing to this channel, and hit that bell button so you get notified when I post new content. Alright, let's continue. One of my favorite parts in this book was the experiment with blessed tea. It demonstrates the power of belief. When you believe in magic, you have a higher chance of experiencing the magic. This just goes to show that there can be miracles when you believe. I believe the most important message this book is trying to convey is you should always have an open mind. Oftentimes, people seem to have this tendency to fear the unknown and doubt or even deny the legitimacy of things that are different from what they're used to. This book points out that some folks in the academic and science realm seem to be terrified of the word magic. They deny the existence of sight and magic despite the amount of data and information acquired through experiments that were conducted with scientific methods. You know, there will always be people who refuse to believe proven facts, and that's a fact. It appears that they've turned what they think counts as science into some sort of religion they need to protect. And this kind of attitude goes against the very purpose of science, which is to examine, explore, and understand what we don't know about the world. And I'm sure you'd agree that fear stunts growth. And it's important to remember that a lot of things that were considered magic back in the old days have become scientific facts. And if we don't keep an open mind, science will soon become the new superstition. My, how the tables have turned, right? I remember reading this book and thinking, why did they not teach us about this in school? This book is very informative and I would recommend it to anyone who's looking for scientific proof of magic. Anyone who wants to use the law of attraction to manifest their goals. Anyone who wants to practice magic but is kind of doubting their ability to do so. And this book is also a very good foundation book for baby witches. I know this is not the typical spellcasting, charm making book, but in my case, this book helped me build a lot of self-confidence and belief in my magic. And by the way, if you want to learn more about the law of attraction or what magic is about, I have a video where I talk about the similarities and differences between witchcraft and the law of attraction. I'll put the link in the description box below. If you want to get this book, the link will be there as well. If you enjoyed this video, share it with a witchy friend or someone who loves the law of attraction, and I will talk to you in my next video. Until then, live from your heart and be the magic you wish to see in this world. Thanks for watching. Bye!